Bustos, and thank you very much to TEDxUERM for this invite on this very prestigious forum. It is an honor to be here. And for today po, my topic is the digital shift. How did sports media, or how is sports media evolving in the new decade? So once again, I'm Migs Bustos, and my work is a broadcast journalist. I'm a sports commentator. I'm a sports reporter, and I'm one of the ones that had to pivot in the online world in 2020. As you can see po, I am currently in my work from home setup. I have my green screen, green curtain, I have my noise canceling foams, I have my mic right here, I have a ring light over there, and I'm broadcasting and recording from my laptop. So this pivot has made us evolve and discover new ways of broadcasting and telling the stories of the athlete online. Sports is as niche as it is. So we had to step up and make our voices heard, make our content relevant to our audience. So what is the problem? There are no sports competitions obviously in 2020 because of COVID-19. Marami pong mga sports, specifically in the Philippines, na talagang walang competition. Nagkaroon lang ng mga special tournaments just like the PBA bubble, the Chooks to Go bubble, but more or less that's it. Right? No volleyball competitions, no football competitions, or other competitions in 2020. So, we were all limited. We were all limited in terms of broadcasting and showing the games to the Philippines and to the world. And also, the effect of no sports is equals no TV coverage or maybe no media coverage at all. Specifically for us in our industry, kami po as commentators, no work, no pay po kami. Hindi lang kami apektado, production team, maintenance crew, referees, basta po everybody that that are working to mount a sports event na walan din po ng trabaho. Bukod sa athletes, di ba po, may mga ibang athletes, may mga ibang professional players that still earn, but most of the athletes don't really earn. Don't really earn because of this COVID-19 pandemic. So, right now, what we did in the digital shift is, specifically for the sports industry, we all had to think how to make sports relevant, especially in these unprecedented times. And we're talking about the digital shift, the change in behavior, in making migrating people online. If not all, most of my colleagues, including myself, migrated online, made our own shows and broadcasted through Facebook, YouTube, or Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Everybody invested in a work from home setup. As I mentioned, my setup right here, buying green screens, ring lights, etc., setting up decent backgrounds, basta pa makapag-broadcast kami from home. And of course, with this shift comes challenges, right? Since everything was new, we all had the challenge of gaining recognition and traction from our audience. Specifically, my channel is called Off the Record. It's fairly a new brand. It's fairly a new channel. So we all had to start from the ground up. Also, since online is a democracy, content was popping left and right, in and out. And the challenge for us is to be able to get that traction. Important key is attention and retention from our audience. Also, we are our own team. Kami po ang interviewer, kami ang cameraman, kami ang director, kami ang editor. With that, I never imagined I would learn some skills in the digital space, editing, making thumbnails, designing. I didn't know about that, and pre-pandemic. I was focused on my work outside because the sports industry, alam niyo naman po, sports industry is very focused on the action. When you're inside the game, when you're inside the arena, interviewing players, right? The action is there during the live event, right? All the sounds, MOA Arena, Araneta Coliseum, all the drums, lahat ng hiyaw ng fans, yung arena food, and as blunt as I may say, yung pawis ng mga athletes, yung that whole aura of a team, of a competition, the excitement, the thrill, we all miss that. And clearly, this is what is missing now. Right? In the bubble formats, walang audience. Right? Wala na yung mga usual nating nakikita na nagsisiksikan. No, that's completely out of the picture now. But, us as storytellers, it is kind of our job. Well, actually, it's our job, to be able to relate that to our audience still, even those elements, those important elements are missed. Right? And also, besides that, besides that, it's really up to us. It's really up to us to dedicate our time with our brand, our channel. We should put in the time, we should put in the dedication and the effort. Since that element is lost, everybody is looking for sports content online. So all these values we have to put into play, especially if we are the content creators. Also, hindi lang naman yan wave eh. Hindi lang naman yan pausuhan. Consistency should come into play. Since online is a new world for this industry, we all had to adjust to what types of content were hits, what the audience liked, what the audience didn't like, what generated engagement. Previously, we didn't really think about this, but now since we are setting up our own channel, we all had to think of these elements, right? Kasi hindi ka lang naman basta pupunta online just for a passion project. At some point, you would want it to succeed. You would want it to make it or take it to the next level. So all these factors have come into play. Now, personally, in my off-the-record page, I'm currently experiencing, struggles, right? There would be frustrations when it comes to engagement, when it comes to views, right? When it comes to maybe the likes. I'm not saying that I'm solely focused on that, but then, at the same time, I mentioned that you want to take it to new levels. You would want to make content and eventually level up. Baka po meron tayong mga kakilalang YouTubers or know of some YouTubers that experience the same. There's a difference between what we do as storytellers and as vloggers. Hindi po kami vloggers. We're not here to make content para mag-viral. Just like the viral challenges that we see on YouTube. Like dance challenges, right? Mga dalgona coffee, mga jojowain no totropay. No, we're not like that. So we are actually on the other side of the fence and we're playing the long game. Kasi kung gusto namin sumikat, we can just do some silly things. Right? I'm not saying that those are silly things, but then we are saying that we have to still make meaningful content, right? When it comes to our niche, for our communities to be able to build communities that would appreciate our content. But now I know it won't be easy. This is part of the process and this is part of the long game where we have to be consistent in making content for our brand to pick up. Same goes with my colleagues in the industry. Some are instant hits, some are still grinding, but if we want to succeed in the long run, we must go through these hurdles. Also, when it comes to those challenges comes the investment, right? Setting up your own channel is not free. It entails a number of costs. Really, and expenses. This didn't come for free. You had to invest on it also. You had to go maybe e-commerce or online. You also had to invest in Zoom and StreamYard subscriptions. You had to upgrade your Wi-Fi connection. I had to invest in a webcam, in a great webcam, that one that is decent, that is one that is presentable online, and all the related costs that is related to your channel. We must be ready to invest. You must be ready to invest because after all, this is your own. This is your business. Diba? Parang we had that, well, at least for me, we had entrepreneurial mindset already. That, we're everything eh. We're the director, we're the cameraman, we're our own production team. And of course, if you wanted to take it to new heights, you have to be your sales and advertising arm also. Right? So you're all in one, and it's like you're your own entrepreneur, and this is your brand, whatever channel it is. And also, of course, one can't just go out there and broadcast. Although technically you're just at home, but you can't go for a woke up like this look, right? You still have to look presentable, right? So that's why I'm still wearing my polo and my blazer, even if I'm from home. So at the same time, all these things, ang pinagkaiba lang niyan, guys, you're just from home, but you're taking the work with you and still being looking professional. That's the key. Still look professional even when you're at home. Also, one of the things, guys, that maybe the digital shift has affected, not just me, not just the sports industry, is maybe the whole media landscape because of the ABS-CBN shutdown. Being one of ABS-CBN's talents, I was one of the many. Our division in ABS-CBN Sports, maybe in street jargon, it's called Nalimas. I'd call it Nalimas. It was really wiped out from top to bottom. And the franchise denial really affected that. Briefly, just to mention briefly, the effect of that is, of course, the franchise denial. You're not able to broadcast in the mainstream channel, and the business really starts from there. If you cannot broadcast, then all business is lost. When all businesses lost, you cannot actually fund the other departments. So maybe you saw on Facebook, you saw on social media that maraming mga nawala, maraming mga naglipatang talent is because it was inevitable that most of the departments are dissolved. If not all departments are dissolved, retrenchment programs were all over. Just to give you a clear picture of what was it like during July, when this was all heating up, when it was so tense, leading up to that vote, hindi kami makatulog. Just to give you a picture, hindi kami makatulog dahil hindi namin alam kung ano mangyayari sa amin. Eventually, when no quote-unquote nahatulan na nga, we had endless Zoom meetings from our departments. Maraming mga nag-iiyakan. Maraming dumbfounded. What am I gonna do? Most of my colleagues were in ABS for all of their life. But then, this is something that was out of our control. And we all had no other choice but to pick ourselves up. And maybe with that effect to the manpower, what the company did was it was forced, it was compelled. Actually, there was no other way to go but online. Since online is not yet really, regulated, diba? Like in TV or in radio, online was the way to go. To be honest, there were already talks before, even pre-pandemic, that we should take our efforts online because online is the future. You can maybe notice now that your news programs, your favorite TV shows, in ABS-CBN, at least for ABS-CBN, all the teleseries migrated online, right? And you would watch these types of content on YouTube, on Facebook, on I1. And then suddenly, it's maybe subconscious that you're always watching videos on your phone, right? Not on the TV. Maybe some of you, I can speak for myself, that I already cut my cable. Wala na akong cable subscription because I know the type of content that I want to watch is available on YouTube. I can watch it on my laptop. I can watch it on my smart TV, on my phone. Right? So subconsciously, lahat tayo guys, meron tayong behavioral shift. That's why everybody is going online. And maybe that was expedited because of the shutdown, because of COVID-19, because of limited access to the outside. Eventually, people had to go online. So that is one of the effects why our presence online, specifically in the sports media, has strengthened. Because everybody's online, so might as well ride the wave online, right? And it's just really fast forward to now. Going back also, I'm seeing colleagues going to landing different jobs in different companies. But at the same time, maybe that lesson, that experience has really molded us, made us stronger into the type of employee that we are, right? And that has opened our eyes to new innovations, to new opportunities, especially online, especially in the digital space or whatever it is. You don't need to be a broadcaster to be able to shift yourself online. Marami online businesses. E-commerce has also been a big factor in that yung ating behavior of consuming content online. It's not just for consuming content. I'm sure you have Zoom classes. Our parents have Zoom meetings for their companies, for their work. So ito na talaga eh. This is the way to go. And for us in the sports industry, going back, it's just important for us to be able to be relevant. As I mentioned earlier, we have to be relevant. How do we become relevant? That's just by becoming consistent every time, right? How do we tell the story of the athlete, right? Athletes are there. Athletes are willing to be interviewed. And among athletes, guys, may mga iba parang celebrity na, di ba? We put them on a pedestal. But what we don't know is they're also human. They also go through struggles. They all go through physical struggles, injuries, but they also go through emotional stress, mental stress. And right now, it's just important for us to be able to tell that story on how they're picking themselves up. So they become an inspiration to us. Na parang, uy, ikaw rin pala pinagdadaanan mo yan. If you can do it, I can do it too because I look up to you. And that is our job of telling the story of the athlete. So where are we now? The industry is still in limbo. Now, we're still lost because we don't know what's going to happen given the vaccine rollout. health protocols here and there. It differs, wherever you are, whatever LGU you are, and depends on our behavior also on how we take COVID seriously. It's all iba-iba, iba-ibang perception natin. But right now, as of this forum, walang kasiguraduhan ng sports. Only a handful of leagues are resuming because of the bubble format, right? But what about the others? It's basketball. Basketball is there. PBA is there. Volleyball may be, or UAP or other collegiate leagues may be. But what about the others, right? Most competitions are still on hold. If there are no competitions, how can we tell the story, right? We're kind of still lost in a sense on what's going to happen next with our careers as anchors, as commentators, writers, or hosts. We don't know when our next job will be. We still dream for the day that sports competitions will go back and go back to the way it was, right? Pero ngayon, online, para-paraan muna kami. We're not paid to do this. As I mentioned earlier, it's our own investment. We're doing this, it's not just because para kumita or para kumita ng pera, but because at the end of the day, it's our passion. Sports is our passion. Passion namin, ikwento yung storya ng atleta. So, money comes secondary. What's important is we have that drive to make sports relevant. So even though you're not into sports, have you heard of the term bilog ang bola? You may be watching a basketball game, you may be down by 20 points in the first 3 quarters, or maybe down 2-0 in a volleyball game. But at the end of the day, anything can happen. Anything is possible. Bilog ang bola. What is important is you have that grit, you have that grind, you have that determination to come back little by little, small steps, and eventually, like the world, we will all come back to the way it was. Just like how the world is dealing with COVID-19, right? It's just important for us to be able to help ourselves together. Diba? Tulong-tulong tayo. Just not necessarily only with sports industry, but all industries in society for us to get back on our feet. Now, how do we do that? Positive mindset, determination, effort, hard work, tons and tons of hard work, and of course, consistency. Alright, so maraming salamat po. This has been Migs Bustos, TEDxUERM. Maraming salamat po. It is an honor to be here. Stay safe and God bless.